Hello mga bossing, this is Boss Rod, and today may babasahin tayo or may i-review tayong article about Sam Altman just dropped 8 hard truths about AI's future. So it's kind of interesting, and let's see kung nagmamatch ba siya sa mga napag-usapan natin before versus dun sa article na i-review natin today. And before we start, watch muna natin itong sponsor ng video natin today. So if you're a coaches, mentors, or professionals na nagagawa ka ng content or nagmamanage ka ng community mo in Facebook or YouTube or any other platform and nahihirapan ka i-monetize, Upskwela is for you. So Upskwela basically helps you turn your expertise into income. So there's 3 steps na simple na kailangan mo lang gawin is mag-create ka ng community mo, mag-manage ka ng membership mo, and contents, courses, events, and so on. And the cool thing here is we support local payments na tipong GCash, Maya, pwede silang mag-join sa inyo nang hindi na kailangan ng mga credit cards or other bank accounts lang. And if curious ka kung paano ka ba mag-earn sa Upskwela, there's an FAQ here. So first is yung membership, which is the recurring revenue na isa-set mo for your community. The second thing is kung mag-host ka ng mga paid events like mag-sell ka ng tickets mo for your events. And the last option would be the affiliate program. So let's say you just wanted to become affiliate in Upskwela. So the pricing calculator here, the good thing is you can always start for free. So wala kang kailangan bayaran sa Upskwela, pero kikita ka na agad as a creator. And if you wanted to see yung projection ng possible mong kitain sa Upskwela, meron ditong income calculator where you can set kung anong plan yung i-avail mo, and then ilan yung membership tiers mo rito, tapos ilan din yung member, then may kita mo na dito yung pinaka-calculation. So yung gross mo is 14,950 for a 299 membership tier with 50 members na nag-join sa'yo. So ang pinakakikitain mo as net, 12,000 minus yung kita lang ni Upskwela or yung commission lang ni Upskwela na 2,000. Kaya magkakaroon ka ng 9,000 na net monthly income. So wala kang binabayaran na kahit ano, you're just producing your content and members are trusting yung credibility mo. If you're interested with Upskwela, just go to upskwela.com and start your community. Alright, let's get started. Excited ba yung mga bossing? Sam Altman just dropped 8 hard truths about AI's future by analyst Yutam. Okay, last week Sam Altman walked into a room full of anxious developers in San Francisco. No PowerPoint slide, no polished PR presentation, just 1 hour of raw, unfiltered Q&A on January 27, so recently lang. The question weren't softballs. They were the peers keeping developers, data scientists, and tech professionals awake at night. Is my coding job dead? How do I compete when AI can build software? What happened to my career in the next 24 months? I've been following AI developments closely as a data analyst, and this session was different. Altman didn't give the usual AI create more jobs than it destroyed platitude. He gave specific uncomfortable truths about what's actually coming. Very exciting. Okay. After analyzing the session script and comparing it with real data from recent studies, I'm sharing the 8 hard truths Altman revealed, and more importantly, what they actually mean for developers, data scientists, and tech professionals trying to future-proof their careers. This isn't hype. This is the reality check we need. Okay, let's go. The 8 hard truths, what Altman actually said. Hard truth number 1. Software engineers won't be replaced, but your job will change completely. Lagi natin pinag-uusapan to, di ba? AI will never, ever replace software engineers, but it will change completely. Di ba? Yung ginagawa natin as a software engineer before, it will change permanently. Okay? What Altman said, AI writes code faster than human, yes, but that's not the end of software engineering. It's the transformation of it, which is, we're already seeing that, right? The reality, AI tools like GitHub Copilot, ChatGPT, and now specialized coding agents can generate code in seconds that would take hours manually. But Altman's point is more nuanced than the developers are obsolete panic. What actually changing? Before 2024, developers spend 80% time writing code, 20% time on architecture design, which is, I kinda agree, especially pagtapos sa planning phase, no? Kasi dati before, di ba, ang nangyayari, nagpaplano tayo, ito yung gagawin natin. And then, pagka nag-start na yung development, mapapansin nyo, 80% of the time is more on writing code manually. Kaya umaabot yan ng 1 year, 6 months, di ba? Yun yung mga usually na nagiging base. And then, parang pagka nagkakaroon ng changes, parang konti lang yung time for designing it or redesigning it if ever na magkaroon ng problem. Now, it's different, no? 2026, developers spend 30% time writing code, 70% on the architecture, system design, and AI code review. I kinda agree with this. Kasi nga, ang nangyayari na ngayon, since sobrang lulupit na talaga ng mga AI agents, ang pinakakailangan mo na talagang gawin is software engineering, which is, ano yun? Architecture, no? System design, data structure, code review, and planning, and so on and so on. So more on, ang nangyayari na is, kailangan na natin mag-isip ng mag-isip kung ano ba yung gusto nating gawin, di ba? And then, executor natin is si AI na. So that's why nagkakaroon tayo ng less time to write code, especially by hand. The shift, less time writing boilerplate, debugging syntax error, implementing standard feature, and more time system architecture, reviewing AI-generated code, integrating complex system, understanding business requirement. And that's true, mga bossing. That's already happening. The real example from my team. Our juniors developer used to spend 6 hours building a REST API for new feature. Now, AI writes the code, 15 minutes. Developers work 4 hours reviewing, optimizing, adding edge cases, security hardening, and integration. Actually, may kulang dito, which is dapat testing. Diba? Kasi nga, sobrang dali na. Okay? So, parang, there's no reason for you na magkaroon ka pa ng sobrang mukhang tae na code. The code is faster, the thinking is more important, which is lagi yung sinasabi sa inyo, diba? What this means for you, valuable skills in 2026, system design, architecture, design pattern, code review, quality assessment, understanding business context, requirements, integration and debugging complex system, security and performance optimization. So ano napapansin nyo dito mga bossing? Kung di nyo napapansin mga bossing, ito yung actual software engineering. Okay? Kasi karamihan ng iba hindi nila naiintindihan. Lagi na sinasabi, di ba? Wala na, marireplace na kayo ng AI, gato ganyan, ng mga software engineer. Kasi nga, they don't know what they are talking about. Software engineering is this. Ang software engineering is not coding. Software engineering is this items right here or yung skills na mga to. So, if wala ka niyan, hindi ko alam kung paano ka magso-survive. Kung nagko-code ka lang, hindi ko alam kung paano ka rin magso-survive. So, declining value. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, syntax memorization, which is just coding. Writing boilerplate code. So, ba't ka pa magra-write ng maraming boilerplate code kung kaya mo namang gumawa na ng MD, which kaya nang i-execute ni AI. Standard CRUD operation, napaka-basic. Basic debugging. Stop competing with AI on writing code. Start developing skills AI can't replicate. Understanding why code should exist and how it fits into larger system. And this is true, mga bossing. This is the thing that AI can't really replicate. Kasi si LLMs are just a next token predictor. So, hindi niya ma-understand why the code should exist, how it fits it into a larger system. And the only one who can understand this is you, your skills as a software engineer. So, hard truth number 2. Attention is the new oil, and the most of you are giving it away for free. What Altman said, in a world where AI can do cognitive work, what matters most is knowing what to focus on. Attention becomes the scarcest resource. Sa mga boss, hindi ako sabi ko sa inyo, di ba? Hindi ako malupit sobra sa English. So, may mga bagay na hindi ko kayang i-pronounce. Pero ito, alam ko to, parang demand ang ibig sabihin yan. So, meaning, pag hindi nyo alam bagay, mga bossing, always do this. Insufficient for the demand. Okay? So, the reality, when AI analyze data, write code, and generate content, the limiting factor isn't execution, it's the direction. Knowing what to build matters more than knowing how to build it. On point to, mga bossing, no? Kasi even me, kahit alam ko kung paano build yung isang bagay, pero if hindi ko alam kung saan yung direction na gusto kong tahakin, mahihirapan din sa AI na gawin yun. The attention economy in AI. Okay, so ito din yung low value attention, no? Yung write specific code snippet, fix bugs, and format data. Okay? High value attention, deciding which problem to solve, which features to build, and which insight matters. Which is true. I mean, that's really high value. Kasi we're now solving things. We're not just writing code, format, no? Pagandahin, and so on and so on. Tapos na tayo dun sa era na yun na pagandahan ng code, no? Real world example. 2 data scientists get the same task. Improve customer retention. Data scientist A. Traditional. Spend 2 weeks building churn prediction model. Achieve 85% accuracy. Delivers model to business team. Data scientist B. Attention focus. Okay? Spend 2 days having AI build multiple model prototypes. Spend remaining time understanding why customer leaving, when is intervention most effective, how will team use prediction, delivers model plus implementation strategy plus expected business impact. Who gets promoted? Data scientist B. So bakit? Bakit ba? Kasi nga dito parang nag-focus lang siya ng isang idea lang, isang problem lang din yung sinosolve niya dito, which is churn, which is generic, di ba? Pero dito mas maganda. Kumbaga, inaalam niya talaga kung bakit ba talaga nag-churn yung mga customer and when is the intervention most effective, which is you can do that with the help of AI. Kaya pwede kang mag-build ng multiple model prototypes, which is realistic. So kaya, yung data scientist B, mas malaking chance talaga ma-promote in this case. So what this means for developers and data scientists, the skills isn't building models or writing code anymore. It's identifying which problem are worth solving. Identifying which problem are worth solving, okay? That's true. Understanding business context deeply, yes. Translating technical solutions into business value, prioritizing work that has highest impact. So action step, track where you spend your attention this week. If greater than 70% is on the execution, writing code, building models, you're competing with AI. Shift to strategy, prioritization, and business understanding. Think ko ito rin yung lacking namin sa Appskwela, which is, I'll take this. Alright, number 3. 2026 is the critical year of biosafety and nobody's ready. Okay. What Altman said, AI models are getting good enough to help with biological research. That's exciting for medicine. It's terrifying for biosafety. 2026 is when we need to figure this out. The reality, AI models like AlphaFold have already revolutionized the protein structure prediction. GPT-5 models can assist with complex scientific reasoning. The positive applications are incredible, but so are the risks. What's coming? AI-assisted drug discovery, accelerate cures, AI-assisted pathogens design, accidental or malicious, democratize access to biological knowledge, good and bad. Why this matter for tech professional? If you work in biotech healthcare, health tech, massive opportunities but also a massive responsibility. Yes, that's true. Sabi ni di ba, ni Spider-Man, di ba? Great power with great responsibility. Tama ba? Basta may ganun yun, di ba? AAML, expect increased regulation, ethical reviews, and safety requirements. Data scientists, healthcare, and biological data handling will require new protocols. The uncomfortable question, should AI models that can help design vaccine also be available to anyone who can afford $20 per month? What this means for you? New career consideration, ethics and safety roles in AI will explode. Regulatory compliance specialists needed. AI safety researchers in high demand. Tingin ko talaga, yun talaga mangyayari. Tataas talaga yung mga demand ng mga AI specialist. Hindi lang yung mga AI consumer kasi ako, AI consumer lang ako, hindi mga AI specialist, no? So yung mga, talaga, yung mga matatalino when it comes to data, no? Mga data scientists, yan yung mga magi-start or at least tataas lalo yung value nila sa market. Kasi nga, kailangan ng mga ganyan, mga compliance, no? Mga safety protocols, mga ethics, and safety researchers in high demand. If you work in any near IT, healthcare, biotech, start learning about AI safety, ethics, and regulatory frameworks now, and these skills will be mandatory, not optional. I agree. Hard truth number 4, startups can't compete on build speed anymore. When anyone can build an application in a weekend with AI, speed isn't your advantage. The question becomes, what else do you have? Agree. The reality, the barrier to building software has collapsed. What used to take a team of 5 engineers 6 months can now be prototyped in days with AI assistance. That's true. The paradox, good news, building is easier than ever. Bad news, so is your competition building. Well, ganun talaga mga bossing, di ba? Since ang dami na talagang ways to build an application and sobrang dali mag-build ng application and if you're building a startup where anyone can build it, di ba? Tama yung sabi niya dito. What else do you have? Di ba? What's your uniqueness? I mean, what's the other advantage if I'm just gonna buy code your product? So what actually differentiates startups now? No longer enough. We build it fast. We have a working prototype. Our tech is modern. Oh, wala na to mga bossing. Kumbaga obsolete na to. What matters? Distribution. Can you reach customer? Dito kami medyo nahihirapan. Domain expertise. Do you understand the problem deeply? Dito medyo nandoon na kami. Alam na namin yung problem. Pero still, very challenging pa rin. Relationship. Do you have access others don't? Unique data. Do you have proprietary information? Execution consistency. Can you ship reliably over time? Ito, tingin ko wala kaming problema dito. Yung sa iba, ito yung parang medyo distribution, relationship, siguro yung unique data. One of those things na very challenging sa Appskwela. And I agree with this, no? Ito yung pinaka nagmamatter na sa nakikita ko. So wala na ito mga stock na yan, mga tech stock na yan. Real example, I've seen 5 different AI-powered customer service chatbots launch in my industry in the past 3 months. All built quickly with AI tools, all technically competent. Only one succeeded, the one built by former customer service manager who deeply understood the actual problems. Yeah, that's expected. What this means for developer and data professionals, if you're thinking starting something, don't compete on I can build it. Everyone can build it now. Compete on the domain expertise, customer access, unique insight. And this is really true, mga bossing. So one of the reasons why I build Appskwela is because I'm a creator myself. And I do have plans na magagawa ako ng sarili kong website, maglalagay akong payment methods, and kung ano-ano pa. So the reason why I build Appskwela is because I have a great understanding about doing contents, how you monetize your contents, and so on and so on. That's why this is important na meron kang domain experts when building specific application. So technical skills is a table stakes, not differentiation. Not differentiation. Yes. If you're job hunting, companies value domain expertise plus technical skills, not just coding. Oh, yes, that's true. Hindi na about sa coding. No? I mean, parang less matter na yung coding. Pero understanding about the code is part of the technical skills. So that's why it's still important. Hindi na yung coding ability na tipong ikaw man na magra-write ng code from manually, di ba? We're writing the code with AI. That means you don't need to code manually. Highlight your understanding of the business and industry. And this is the thing. Kanina, di ba? Minention ko. Show how you solve problems, not just build features. This is very important in every position, mga bossing. Kahit mapa-junior, mapa-mid, mapa-senior, and so on. I mean, show how you solve the problem. Or even how you will solve the problem pagka binigyan ka ng problem. This is very important. Problem solving. Pagka wala ka niyang mga bossing, wala. GG. Action step. Pick an industry or problem domain and become an expert. The combination of technical skills plus domain knowledge is rare and valuable. So before tayo mag-start sa Hard Truth 5, panoorin lang ulit natin itong sponsor natin. Now, if you're a coaches, mentor, or professionals na gusto mong i-monetize yung skills nila, here's the example for you, mga bossing. So I created my own community sa Upskwela, which is on the pre-plan. So wala akong binabayaran na kahit ano sa Upskwela. Nagkaroon kasi ako ng isang event in the past called LLM. So February 1 lang yun. And nagkaroon ako ng 31 attendees na confirmed. And meron akong ticket na ginawa niya which is paid na regular, $599 and early bird na $299 na 50% off na 20 lang and 80 for available. Ngayon, kung gusto niyo makita yung pinakakinita ko, for that event kumita ako ng 13,767. Here, as you can see, yung pinaka-actual breakdown computation which meron siyang transaction fee na nabawas and then yung VAT which is nasa Pinas kasi tayo and then yung platform commission na ito lang yung kinikita ni Upskwela. So, ang pinaka-total na kinita ko that event, just one event mga bossing, is 9,278. So, I can pay out anytime if I want to. I can request here na meron ako available for payout. And so, as you can see here, I'm just doing my contents. I'm just giving quality contents for my members and I can earn from it. And that's the example how I can earn as a creator in Upskwela. Okay, let's continue. So, hard truth number 5. The 10x engineer myth is dead. Welcome to the 10x problem identifier. The developer who writes 10x more code isn't valuable anymore. And I agree on this. The one who identifies the right problem to solve it is, yes. AI democratized the code production. It didn't democratize the problem identification. And that's true. That's why it's very important na ang decision making nasa sayo. Okay? Nasa software engineer or nasa tao ang decision making. But the execution part, mostly kaya nang gawin ni AI. The old 10x engineer, right? Codes faster, know every framework, solve technical problems brilliantly. The new 10x problem identifier figures out which problems are worth solving. Nice. Understand user pain points deeply. Nice. Prevent wasted work on the wrong solution. Nice. Connect technical possibilities to business value. Nice. So as you can see here mga bossing, you're not really into beautiful code. Diba? Lagi yung inaano to sa inyo. Dati, diba? Yung iba, sige, beautiful code ka ng beautiful code. Diba? You're doing clean code shit and stuff and so on. That doesn't really matter. It doesn't add any value sa business or dun sa problems na or sa problem na gusto nyo i-solve, di ba? What it really matters is yung code mo is nagsosolve ng problem or issues ng business. Real scenario. Engineer A spent 2 weeks building sophisticated machine learning model to predict when user will upgrade to premium, achieve 90% accuracy. Engineer B spent 2 days talking to the sales team, analyze conversion funnel, realize the real problem is unclear pricing page, not prediction accuracy. Fixes pricing page copy. Conversation increase 15%. Who deliver more value? So, tingin nyo kung sino. Very obvious mga bossing, no? What this mean for the data scientists? The most valuable data scientists aren't building the most complex models. They are solving the right problems with the simplest effective solution. Old focus. How do I achieve 95% accuracy? New focus. What business decision will this model actually impact? Actually, very relate ako dito mga bossing. Kasi, ang nangyayari sa company namin is, we're just building more features. And they are just vibe coding. And right now, ang nangyayari is, na-fired yung CTO namin. And ako na lang natitira doon mga bossing. And what I usually do sa kanila, I started chatting yung everyone in the team, how the process works, how the workflow works, no? Paano nyo ginagamit si AI? Ano yung mga pinakakailangan nyo? What are the pain points and so on? Kasi pagka hindi ko ginawa yung mga bossing, I don't know kung ano yung i-build ko. Kung ano yung solution na i-build ko for my company. So right now, I'm in the middle of understanding what is happening in the company, and also how can I make their life easier or automate some of their process with the help of technology. So that's very important, mga bossing, especially kung gusto niyo maging senior developer or maging CTO or mas higher level, no? Don't just think about the one thing, or at least coding, no? You should think about what problem are you trying to solve and what kind of solution will you go to, diba? So the new focus, what business decision will give this model actually impact? So it's more on impact, mga bossing, no? What will be the impact pagka ginawa mo yung bagay na yun? Action step, before building your next model or feature, what decision will this inform? Who will use this and how? What happens if we do nothing? Is this simple solution that works? Malapit na tayo. Hard truth number 6, enterprise AI adoption is slower than you think. And that's an opportunity. What Altman said, consumer AI is moving fast. Enterprise is moving slowly. There's a massive gap. And that gap is the opportunity. Ito talaga, ganito talaga yung mga yung bright-minded na hindi talaga natin may isip mga normal na tao, no? Na yung mga gap na yun, na yun yung mga opportunity talaga. Which is, kahit ako ngayon ko lang na di ba? Parang, oo nga, di ba? Parang, oo nga, no? Di ba? That's the opportunity. And we need to figure out that middle gap. The reality, according to the recent studies, only 6.1 of US companies are using AI in production as of late 2024. 95% of enterprise AI pilots fail to deliver measurable impact. Laki, no? Sheesh. 95% fail. Pa? 2/3 of organizations are stuck in the pilot purgatory. So why enterprise is slow? Reliability requirements, pretty good. Isn't good enough when error have consequences. Regulatory concerns, healthcare, finance, legal, can't risk compliance issues. Integration complexity. AI must work with 20-year-old legacy system. Trust deficit. Executives don't trust AI-generated insight yet. The opportunity. Ito na. Sige nga, ano yung opportunities natin dito mga bossing? For developers, enterprise integration specialist is in high demand. Focus on reliability, monitoring, and explainability. Build AI tools that work with existing enterprise system. Okay. I mean, sure. That's good. For data scientists, enterprise-grade ML, production-ready, monitored, reliable, pays more than research. Focus on result and ROI, not just accuracy. Agree. Learn to communicate with non-technical stakeholders. Ito, important talaga to for data scientists kasi you need to really understand how the organization works, not only on the technical stuff, but also on the non-tech people. And stakeholder, of course. Real example from my company. We spent 6 months getting our AI-powered analytic dashboard approved for enterprise use. The model took 2 weeks to build. Sheesh. And the other 5.5 months, security, review, compliance documentation, integration testing, stakeholder training, monitoring setup, rollback procedures. What this means for you. High-value skill. Production ML, not just prototype. Enterprise system integration. Compliance security knowledge. Stakeholder management. Change management. Don't change the latest AI trend. Focus on the making AI work lively in the real business environment. Ito yung gusto ko matry. Pero syempre, medyo malaking responsibilities din. And syempre, kailangan na magandang understanding din for businesses. And that's where the money is. Agree. Ito yung next step. Hard truth number 7. AI will make money worth more. Deflationary pressure. Ano yun? Ano ibig sabihin nito? Repairs to the economic force such as reduced demand and increased productivity that drives general price level of goods and services. Okay. AI creates massive deflationary pressure. Things will get radically cheaper. Money becomes more valuable. The economic theory. When AI dramatically increases productivity, production costs drop, fewer labor hours needed. Goods and services become cheaper. Your money buys more. Altman's example, by the end of 2026, spending $1,000 on AI inference could complete software that previously required an entire team and much longer time. Spending $1,000 on AI inference? Yeah, that's possible talaga. The contrarian reality check. This sounds great, but who captured the value? If AI makes your work 10x more productive, does your salary increase 10 times? Do companies pocket difference? O nga, no, di ba? Number 2, transition pain. Even if things are cheaper in 5 years, what about the next 2 years of disruption? Wealth concentration. AI compute is controlled by a handful of companies, which is Sila na yun. Sila OpenAI, Claude, Anthropic, Google, and so on and so on. So what this means for tech professional, the uncomfortable question, if AI makes you 10 times more productive, are you 10 times more valuable, or are you competing with 10 other people who are also 10x more productive? That's a really good question. Ganun ba talaga tayo? I mean, kung 10x more productive na tayo, are we 10x more valuable, no? Or are we competing with 10 other people na 10x productive? So medyo ano siya, no? Medyo interesting question siya. Pero kung titignan nyo rin kasi, no, na kung isang tao can be a 10x productive, it's hard to justify why do you need 10 people just to become 10x more productive. Diba? Medyo interesting siya. Positioning strategy. Low value position. I can do X task faster with AI. Wala na to. Wala na talaga yan. High value position. I can solve problems that matters, leverage AI as one tool among many, and deliver business result. Action step. Don't just become a passer at your current job. Become capable of solving bigger, more complex problem that AI can fully automate. Ito yung important talaga, mga bossing. Kailangan nyo talaga ng this kind of mindset na you just don't build things so fast. You're not just build, diba? You should think of it like, how can I become capable of solving complex problem on a business? Diba? Na hindi nila kayang i-fully automate with AI. Yun yung parang sobrang important na skills talaga na matutunan, no, ng each one of us, kahit anong level ka. Okay? Mapa junior, entry level, or whatsoever. And the last one, hard truth number 8. The skills you're learning today have a 2 to 3 year half-life. The rate of change is accelerating. The skill that make you valuable today might not work in 2 to 3 years. Continuous learning isn't optional. It's survival. That's why learning is continuous, no? I mean, hindi siya nag-i-stop na pagka natutunan nyo na isang bagay, tapos na. I've been here for 7 years na, mag-8 years na. Pero, napapansin nyo, I'm still learning, no? I'm still studying stuff and so on. Kasi nga, it's important na magkaroon ka talaga ng skills for different kinds of way how to solve problems. Hindi about yung sa tech lang, gagamit ka ba React, gagamit ka ba ng Vue? Hindi ganon. The mindset is, you have this problem, you have this business problem. Now, the question is, what tool yung possible na makapag-solve ng problem na yon? And that's where the time na aaralin ko yung tool na yon. So that's how I see things, and that's how I learn, or actually, why do I need to learn that specific thing? The reality, technical skill depreciation timeline. 2023, hot skills, GPT-3 API integration, prompt engineering basic, React Vue for web apps. 2026, commoditized AI can do this. Table stakes, everyone know this. Still relevant but not differentiating. The pattern, advanced skills, standard skills, automated skills, cycle time 2 to 3 years. What this means for developers and data scientists. You need continuous learning. Yes, that's true. Ito yung kanina. The minimum learning budget, 5 to 10 hours per week, learning new skills. 1 to 2 major upskilling projects per year. Quarterly skills audit what's becoming obsolete. I mean, that's a good advice. High value learning strategy. Don't learn. The newest AI tool that does X, don't learn. The newest AI tool, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, don't be, diba? Ang pangit na ba't mo na kasing hindi kasi naka next line. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na don't just let AI or do the thing for you, no? Don't rely everything to AI. Kasi nga, nawawalan ka ng value, para kang empty na lata kung ganun yung gagawin mo, na wala kang laman, diba? Sure, gulong-gulong ka, nakakatayo ka, no? Pero the thing is, walang laman yung lata na yon. Unlike kung lata ka na may laman, which is fundamental skills na AI can't really replicate, di ba? Which is software engineering skills then, or iba't ibang klaseng skills. So, system design thinking, business strategy, human psychology and behavior, communication and influence, problem framing, scoping. Action step, create a learning portfolio. This is a good advice, mga bossing, lalo na sa mga nag-start pa lang. Mag-start kayo mag-create ng learning portfolio nyo. Kung ano ba yung kailangan nyong gawin, or ano ba yung gusto nyong matutunan. Saan nyo ba gustong mapunta? And start researching ano yung mga possible paths na best for you to take on that road. 30% time, deepening your current skills. 50% time, adjacent skills, expand your range. 20% time, future skills. Well, ito naman, nasa sa inyo na to. What this actually means, practical career strategy. After processing all 8 hard truths, here's the synthesis. The all tech careers playbook broken. Learn technical skills, coding, modeling, get good at execution, build impressive projects, get hired, get promoted. So that's the old playbook. The new tech career playbook, okay? Learn technical skill as a table stakes, okay? Develop problem identification skills, okay? Build business and domain expertise. Ito, sobrang solid nito. Focus on attention management, prioritization, good. Demonstrate business impact, not just technical proficiency, good. Learning continuously, non-negotiable. This advices, mga bossing, is on point. Ito talaga yon. Ito talaga yung kailangan yung gawin, no? And kailangan yung i-follow this 2026 and moving forward.